Sunday, and you know what that means. It's time for the All Effing Wrestling Show, and we're going to have a good time today because we're opening up the mailbag, EVP Joe.
Yeah. Don't rub your eyes. It is me, EVP Joe, and not JFB, the guy with the hair. But, we got the mailbag, and we got some news. But before that, Canada Dry, hit that music.
I'm going to hit that music all right. As soon as I figure out where the hell it is.
Really damn hard, man.
I'm going to hit it right. I'm
Just ruined the gimmick. Good job. No.
We're clear for takeoff.
That's all systems go. Need that AFW logo up. Stat.
You're watching the AFW Network.
Introduce yourself, EVP Joe.
It's me. It's that EVP coming to you on a glorious Sunday night to talk some wrestling. And not that he needs an introduction, but the man below me, let us know who you are.
Well, I am thoroughly impressed with your radio host skills, EVP Joe. That was a badass intro. But you guys know who I am. I haven't been on here very much lately because I've been really busy. But I am the effing expert, Mr. Isaacs. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
I will say it does feel weird. Like usually, Mr. Isaacs is up here in the number 2 position. I hope I'm.
You're doing the news, so I gotta.
I hope I'm filling in.
You do the news from the bottom.
You know, when I'm on the All Effing Wrestling Show, I'm a guest. Like I'm not a host. Like I'm the Hollywood Square that's like the least talked to. That's me.
Fruit Cat.
And there's Fruit Cat.
So we got Fruit Cat stuff. Like he's been a bastard already.
Oh,
yeah,
that little bastard.
Drinking my podcast water.
Look, Fruit Cat has to hydrate. He is clearly the star of this podcast.
Yeah, Fruit Cat's the man.
So yeah, he started. Like I just did some grocery shopping before, and I had this on the coffee table. And he's going after my bread.
Oh,
I
no.
see he's going crazy for it right now.
Yeah, but I took him out for a walk the other day just to enjoy the sun. And
okay, time out. Do you have like a leash and a collar?
I used to, but he's moved past that now. That he just walks beside me.
Oh, nice.
So I'm just I'm taking him inside, and this girl and her 2 friends, they're like, oh, that cat's so cute. And so they come back, and Nightwing's in the house by now. And they're like, can we see your cat? And I'll go get him. And so I show him to him, and I tell him that he's Fruit Cat on Instagram. He's got over 18,000 followers. And I thought, you know what? Let's sign him to be the official cat of AFW.
Quite frankly, I don't know what took so long.
Well, it was kind of there, but
I mean, officially.
It wasn't official.
He was always unofficially.
Yeah, so now he's the official cat.
I gotta say, Canada Dry, it's an absolute brilliant move to use your pussy to get love. See what I did there,
Even
gentlemen?
now, he was going for the water again. I have to move it.
I was say, was he going for some more water?
Well, the thing is, he doesn't. If he's just drinking it, like he's already contaminated it with his cat tongue. So, like, I'm gonna be drinking it anyways. But my worry now, he's playing with it. He's like this to the cup, and like
so. Hopefully, during this podcast, we won't see Canada Dry start exhibiting cat-like things like paw.
Oh, that's long gone. Like I'll share an ice cream with the cat. Like,
yeah,
I don't care.
Well, before we get to the news, you want to share some comments?
But first, let me introduce myself.
Oh, yeah, I guess we should do that.
I am the patron saint of professional wrestling. I am that gingered up, bubbly son of a bitch. I'm Canada effing Dry. Damn it.
Effing right on the shirt.
This is one of my favorites. I love the effing shirt.
That is dope. I love it.
It's a good shirt.
And we got everything now. It's kind of color coordinated. Everything's just red and white and black.
They're good colors. They don't really clash. You can wear it with anything.
I agree.
But yeah, let's see what let's go to the comments. Evil Joe, she's calling you.
Yeah.
The goat of YouTube is Roman Graham, I guess.
Heck yeah. My man Roman in the house.
That's Noob.
Millennial Noob. What's up, my man? Love that noob.
And Candace Gaines.
Everybody can use some cannabis and
He's
some
going to
gains.
call in a little bit later, I think.
All
So
right.
since we're showing off shirts, I'm not wearing an AFW shirt. Canada Dry, you won't get this shirt, but Mr. Isaacs will.
I'd like to solve the puzzle.
Steelers suck.
That is a fitting shirt for a Baltimore guy to wear.
I mean, and to be fair, my wife, who is a Steelers fan, bought this shirt for me.
Oh my God, your wife is a Steelers fan. Ooh, I bet that gets a little rough on Sundays.
Not really. She's not she's for me, she's a fan because her family is a fan. She doesn't really sit down and watch the games.
Inherited fandom. I find that not the typecast, but I find that a lot of women have inherited fandom. It's like, my dad liked them. They're cool.
Yeah.
I wear a t-shirt, but I don't really give a shit. That happens a lot.
All right, with chitter chatter, let's get at her.
From the four corners of the globe, from our studios to your home, this is FNN, the FN News Network, starring Canada Dry and the JFB.
All right. So for our news, I kind of went with the question theme of the day. So it's news, but I have questions with it for us to discuss for most of the topics. But we'll get through the two that really don't have much discussion. And there are some new signings for AEW/ROH. As on Saturday night, we found out that Kevin Knight has left New Japan and joined AEW. And then Cal Bloom, for those of you that know, the former Von Wagner of NXT fame, is with ROH, or at least he made his debut before Collision.
So yeah, he was the bodyguard, right?
Yeah, he was one of the bodyguards on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
So the first one I want to talk about is Kevin Knight. So they're saying, according to PW Insider, that he turned down a contract from WWE and signed with AEW. Now this isn't like I like AEW better.
No, I think for me, from the sounds of it, his tweet, a lot of it played into the fact that he'd still be able to work with New Japan.
Yeah.
I think that's what it boils down to, is he can still work.
But also, you can always come back to WWE later and build your star up.
As many people do. Yeah.
Like, I'm not ready to, you get that big payday from, well, it's not even about the payday. Sometimes it's just about the fame.
And honestly, whether we like it or not, AEW offers a totally different set of opportunities than WWE does. Because
Right.
AEW still allows you to go work the indies wherever you want, with the exception of one or two times. But mostly it's you still have that freedom over your career.
Yeah, I think that might be a mistake by Tony Khan. You got an injured Brian Cage from an indie day.
Hey, you're killing my news. Stop it.
Oh, I'm just saying, should we limit that sometimes?
Well, in my opinion, I think the reason why they do it is to offset the monetary difference of not having the live events that WWE has. NXT and WWE runs live events, non-televised shows on Saturday nights. AEW doesn't have anything like that. They have their television shows and their pay-per-views, and that's it. And I think this is kind of their way of not running live events and having that extra expense, but allowing the wrestlers the opportunity to cash in on that experience out in the independents with somebody else paying them. That's kind of my takeaway.
Do you
from
think
that.
you should limit that, though? Should there be a cap?
Maybe there's a level to it. If you're on the lower half of the card, maybe you can. I know that would get tricky with contracts. I'm not sure how that would work, but there has to be some kind of exclusivity, I think, for at least the top of the card. Yeah.
Yeah, like now they have to change what they're doing with the tag team titles because Brian
Honestly,
Cage got injured on the Indies.
I think it's a blessing. I think that's a blessing in disguise, personally. I think having the Hurt Syndicate versus Cage and the Murder Hulk. I think it's too early. I would rather let that simmer up a little bit and let the Hurt Syndicate continue to eat through some of the lower tag.
Yeah, I see. Like booking wise, it could be helpful, but I'm saying that, what do you think? Do you think that they should limit it?
I don't know, because I honestly, part of working the indies is what separates AEW from WWE.
Well, I'm not saying getting rid of it. Like, maybe have a limit. This is how many you can do a year. And maybe not around a certain time for our top guys.
I don't know, because I feel like maybe Tony Khan uses this as his developmental program, not just ROH, but allows these people to go work while they still in a contract, just a way to develop them more. I don't know. I think until there's a really major injury, not saying Brian Cage isn't a major injury.
You meant that we're the GOATs.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you, Roman.
You know what? We're not bad.
Oh.
If I had a boo sound effect on my sound effect board here,
You would boo me. Why don't you have a boo? Like,
I don't know. I probably do have one built into here, but I gotta like toggle the settings, and yeah, it resets all the time. It's like a real pain in the ass to deal with.
Okay, all right, what else we got, Joe?
I mean, I had it listed. Brian Cage's injury forced a change in the tag title match at Dynasty. Like I said, I think it's for the best because I would rather see this be something built up because I would rather this should be to me like a marquee tag team match because there's not many that they can do in AEW right now.
Right.
Like I really don't want MVP to look at Cage and say, go win a tag match and then you can have a title match. I would rather them be destroying teams just like the Hurt Syndicate. It'd be like the immovable object versus the unstoppable force, and it'd be a great tag match.
I agree.
Yeah. I could agree with that for sure.
Okay. So next up. So we found out Friday night what the main event of night 1 of WrestleMania is. And that is the triple threat match between Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins. And there's this big to-do about that the main event is the favor that Heyman owes Punk. And Punk says that's not the favor. So my question to you two gentlemen is, what ultimately is the favor, do you think?
It's tough. I kind of wonder if this is going to lead to because I don't see Paul Heyman being like, my friend Punk, I got you a title shot. Because he's not a GM or anything. He doesn't have power, right?
Right.
So I don't think it's that. I know that's what the speculation is. I think it's more so maybe like a one-on-one against Roman Reigns on like a bigger stage. Maybe if Reigns wins one of the 2 titles or something.
Like a SummerSlam type thing?
Yeah. I could see it being something like that. What do you guys think?
I think that's exactly what it is. I think it's probably SummerSlam match because just the build would be brilliant.
Yeah.
I just have that build from WrestleMania to SummerSlam.
I really hope it's not what a lot of people think, that if Punk wins, he gets added to the Cena.
Oh,
and Cody.
I don't think so. I really don't think so.
To me, that would ruin WrestleMania for me.
I do think it's funny though that Obviously, I think the writing's on the wall that they made the wrong move with Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble when they've already decided we got to pull the plug on the shit and demote him to the undercard.
I would go further in this, but it's one of the questions in the mailbag.
Okay. Well, we can elaborate on that further when it comes up.
Well, then I guess I'll go ahead and because one of my news items is now obviously with knowing the two Mania main events, neither WrestleMania or neither Royal Rumble winner is main eventing WrestleMania this year. Do you think this is a blip, or is this maybe it's time that WWE stops saying the winner of WrestleMania or of Royal Rumble will main event?
The question in the mailbag is very similar to that. So,
Okay.
So we'll get to that.
Let's just hang on to that one. All right, we'll get to it.
Okay, a couple other things. Phoenix has been confirmed to debut Friday night. Do you think it should have been a surprise?
No, I don't, because I don't think Phoenix is a big enough star for it to be a surprise.
Okay.
I mean, to be quite frank, I just don't think so. I don't think he's a big enough star to where if they just didn't advertise or didn't say anything at all, and then he just showed up, I'm not sure he would get a big pop.
Well, I don't know. I think if he was involved in a Penta situation,
they were selling Penta merchandise before he debuted. So they kind of let the cat out of the bag.
Seems like they're higher on Penta than Phoenix.
Well, Penta has more star power. Like when he was in Mexico, Penta was like of a higher caliber of star than his brother Phoenix.
So it was the reverse of AEW.
Yeah. I mean, Penta was like the star. He was like the top heel in AAA for a period of time, and he was the top heel in Lucha Underground too. If anybody remembers
when he was
that.
Penta Dark. Ooh,
Yeah.
that was.
Well, I would say your top luchador in talent-wise is Rey Fenix now.
Yeah, I like Phoenix as a wrestler better than Penta for sure.
There's no way that WWE can't treat Penta like the next Rey Mysterio. If they don't, they're fools.
I agree. Phoenix he's very good, and I do think he's better than Penta for sure.
I think he's probably the best luchador in the world right now.
Oh,
I don't watch enough. I think
that's the thing.
The best American.
From what I know, very little of the world of luchador, right?
I'm a big fan of Bandito, but I think Phoenix is probably the best. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Okay, ready for the next thing?
Let's go.
WWE has said that they will host a flagship show in India in year 2026, 2027. What do you guys think it's going to be?
It's going to be the recreation of Ring Ka King from TNA. No, I don't think it's going to be one of the big four. I think it's going to be, I don't know. They'll have like some kind of crown jewel kind of event, but call it something Indian. That's
really
relevant
even
to
with
Indian
using
culture.
the word flagship, because that would suggest it's an important.
See, I take it more like that's going to be a new annual show. A la Crown Jewel. I mean, that's kind of how I take it. I don't know. I think it's a smart move. What's up?
What was the announcement? I missed that. I was looking at the comments.
Just that there's WWE is going to host a flagship show in 2026 or 2027 in India.
That could even be a weekly show. That could be Ring Ka King.
I take that as it could either be Raw or it could be one of the big four.
I was thinking like if it's 2026, maybe it's late 2026 with like Survivor Series, or if it's 2027, maybe because they're doing the 2026 Rumble in Saudi. Maybe they'll do 2027 Rumble in India.
The flagship show of WWE is Raw.
Right. The televised show, yeah.
So so they're leaving it purposely vague.
You know what though, Mr. Isaacs? You may be onto something because by 2026, WWE may have bought TNA. You never know. So
What if it really
do
is
Ring
WWE
King.
presents Ring King? For those of you that don't understand the joke, that was TNA's short-lived India-specific television program. It was like the Indian version of Impact. They called it Ring King. For anybody out there that's young and doesn't know what we're talking about.
Okay, final thing for the news. And we had this in a group chat, but WWE is going to start inducting matches into the Hall of Fame. Good idea, bad idea? What do we think?
I personally think it's a good idea. I mean, you at some point you're going to start getting low on A-list entries to the Hall of Fame, and I mean, I think that we should start recognizing some of these matches. I mean, it doesn't have to be a big to do. We don't have to have both guys there giving a big elaborate speech or whatever. Just a mention or whatever's fine. But I think this is a good idea, and I think especially when you have an on-demand library that you want to boast. You say that this is the match that's being inducted and recognized this year. Encourage everybody to go to Peacock or Netflix or whatever and watch it. And you're going to boost your numbers of people watching that individual match. I really don't see a downside to this. I saw people complaining about it, but people just want to bitch and moan about anything. I from a business perspective, I think it's good. And this particular match they're putting in is my all-time favorite wrestling match. Austin Hart. WrestleMania 13. I mean,
It was a good match.
yeah, it's the best, at least the best WWE match of all time, in my opinion. But it's my all-time favorite wrestling match, so I think it's a good one.
I don't mind this, but my issue comes with now Bret Hart's a 3-time Hall of Famer.
Well, see, that's the thing. Do you look at it like the individuals going in, or you just look at
No,
it
I
as
think
a match?
I think this is just an entity. It's the match.
See, that's what I'm thinking.
And
It's
it's
just a
it's
match.
a Stone Cold set. Would this be Stone Cold's second entry?
Yeah, but then if you look at it that way, then you're like, oh, Bret Hart's in. We're just never going to put another match in. But that's ridiculous because he's had some really good other WrestleMania, like arguably the greatest.
Rack it up for Rick.
Bret and Owen.
I'm ready for my next punch.
I don't think they're going. No, I really don't think they're going to do matches.
Yeah, I have a problem with the whole 2-time, 3-time Hall of Fame bullshit.
Yeah, I don't think they should look at it like that.
No.
I don't think they should look at it like Hart and Austin are going into the Hall of Fame again as
No, but I
individuals.
think like Ric Flair and Bret Hart should not have more than one Hall of Fame entry. It cheapens it.
See, I don't mind if you go in solo and then if you go in as a group because
I don't mind that either. I think that's fine.
I think that's fine.
No, but you should not be considered a 2-time or 3-time Hall of Famer. You're just a Hall of Famer.
Well, I mean, you're getting into semantics at that point.
No, because it cheapens the induction. That guy's got 5.
Okay, before we end this segment, though, I got a question for you. What other match besides a Bret Hart match? Let's cut out Hart and Austin. They are already
We're
in.
not cutting both Bret Hart.
For the purpose of this conversation, what other match would you say should go? Would you?
I
if
would.
you had your pick,
I would induct Ricky Steamboat and Macho Man.
Okay.
I would induct HBK versus Undertaker WrestleMania 25.
Okay. And I would go with. Honestly, I think I'd have to go with Rock Austin too.
Hey, Danielle, thanks for tuning in the show.
Hi, Danielle. She's one of my buddies.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for joining.
I was like, we got a new person.
We got a new follower. All right.
Yeah. I mean, you can't really have the history of WrestleMania without Austin Rock.
Yeah, that's true. That's a great one too. That's a great choice.
But it's more theatrical than like say Brett and Austin.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like it's not the technical match.
Yeah. I mean, because I could also say like another match I like is I loved Austin. I mean, HBK and Jericho, HBK and Angle. So
you can put HBK in there about 10 times.
Yeah, and that's why we can't say, "Oh, he's a 10-time Hall of Famer." We get out of control.
Or you can put WrestleMania 25 and 26.
Yep.
You know, those 2 Taker matches.
Not to mention 24 with Ric Flair.
Yeah.
But what I do like about this is Brett and Austin coming out there and just talking a bit about the match, like face to face. That'd be cool.
Brett's like, I got in trouble because I bladed and Vince got pissed off. And Austin's like, I didn't give a shit.
That's exactly what they should do. They should make it like a table for three type thing where they're talking about the match.
I dig it. Of
That
course,
would
they
be
wouldn't
awesome.
mention Vince. I'm sure. I'm sure he's blacklisted of being mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll say, Brett, don't mention Vince. Austin, don't mention it.
You know, one of the old timers is going to slip up and do it anyways, which is going to be funny
Look,
because everybody's going to be squirming and tightening their assholes about it.
Whether we like it or not, Vince is intertwined in the history. You're not going to just be able to eliminate him completely.
No, it's not possible.
Yeah, I think
I think it's okay to mention him as long as you're not glorifying his name.
Oh, he definitely won't be mentioned at the Hall of Fame of all things.
They'll be bleeping his name out like somebody said. Fuck. If you say Vince and fuck, they're going to put the same bleep.
Unless, of course, Brandon's health is knocking out Vince.
They need to do what they did on Up, Up, Down, Down when they say Vince had the dolphin chatter.
All right, you guys ready for the main event?
Yeah, let's go.
This is the main event of the evening.
We get letters. We get letters. We get stacks and stacks of letters.
Oh my god.
Letters.
Someone's watching some Blue's Clues before we watch Blue's Clues.
No, this is David Letterman's.
I never saw that.
Yeah, that was the David Letterman late show jingle, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Letters, we get letters. Yeah, I remember that now. I'm an old fart. I remember watching Letterman.
Now, you got the Terrifier shirt on. That's something that you and Sheriff Bryce share.
Yeah, we're both big fans of the Terrifier series. It's probably the goriest horror movie series there is. It's very over the top, and I got a Terrifier 3 shirt.
So Bryce and Showtime, we have a new show that we do on Saturdays called Church Drink. And we just talk about some non-wrestling stuff and some weird, sometimes conspiracy or stuff. This next Saturday, we're talking about this woman named Amanda, and there's a podcast called Scamanda, Scamanda, like scam. So we're gonna get into that, and so the show's called Scamanda: How to Fake Cancer and Influence People.
Ooh, sounds like a fascinating topic, gentlemen.
I follow this one guy on YouTube, and he's a military guy, and he had this whole long thing. There was this woman who was faking cancer who scammed a bunch of vets and like vet organizations out of money, like millions of dollars. Like, oh, that boils my blood so bad. I don't remember her name. It may have been possible.
Yeah, this woman, she had a stepdaughter that had cancer, and she's like got an idea after she got out of it.
Jeez.
She just kind of, hey, look how much money she raised.
Scourge of humanity.
Oh yeah. But we got some mail that we like to answer. We get in the emails, and we get them all over the place.
We get snail mail, smoke signals.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right. So here's the question that we want to talk about that we kind of brought up earlier. We glossed over it. So neither of the 2025 Royal Rumble winners are main eventing WrestleMania. Is it okay to book like this sometimes?
Joe, you want to start or you want me to?
You can go ahead first, Mr. Isaacs. You are
I
So
think
it's a
it's
very similar
fine.
question, right?
Yeah.
yeah, basically the same question. Yes.
I think it's okay because it was never really presented as you win and you get the main event. It's presented that you win and you get your choice of title you want to go for. That's how it was always presented. Now, granted, those two things have usually gone hand in hand because usually whoever's holding whatever the top title is, I mean, there's like half a dozen of them these days, it seems like. Whoever holds the top belt is always the one you're going to go after, but then they muddy the waters a little bit with the Universal title and the WWE Universal title and then the blah, blah, blah title and the whatever the fuck title. And it's gotten a little out of control to where now it's like you're not guaranteed the main event because you pick one of the top Raw or top SmackDown champion. Clearly, Jey Uso was not a draw. And I love Gunther. I think he's a great wrestler. I'm not sure he's enough of a draw to be then the top spot of one of the 2 nights of Mania. And unfortunately, this is just kind of the hand they were dealt here. So, I think it's okay. I don't think they should market it like you're going to the main event of Mania when you win the Rumble anymore. It's you just get your first pick champion. I know. But again, like I said, before those 2 things went hand in hand, they don't anymore. So they just need to say you pick whatever champion and go with it.
I don't think this should be an every time thing. I think there should be importance put on your Royal Rumble winners personally, just because they win like your second biggest marquee match of the year as apart from the main event of Mania. I think it kind of cheapens and deflates Royal Rumble winners if they're just going to go on in the middle of cards and they're not like, especially with Jey Uso. I think Jey Uso could have worked if he hadn't have got his asses handed to him 2 times before winning the Rumble and choosing Gunther again.
Right.
And then it's Charlotte. Years.
Yeah. I agree with you. I feel like it's okay to do this one time. Like it's a rare thing. Then you got to get right back to making that Royal Rumble important.
I do. I think they can get away with it if there's no mention ever of main event. If they just say you get a title shot, I think that's
because like, having 2 nights doesn't mean that you have 2 main events.
Oh, I hate that saying too. Good Lord, I hate that.
You have night 1 ending match, and you have the main event the next night.
I don't know what's worse, to say you have 2 nights of Mania and 2 main events, or the whole triple main event on one night of Mania that they used to do because they had.
Oh, that's the one I hated most. It's like you're just lying to us.
Everybody's in the main event.
It's like the opener, the first match is our main event. No, it's like the complete opposite.
You can pull that off on TV, not at Mania.
Yeah.
Or when Jim Ross used to say that whoever Undertaker was facing, that was the main event.
Yeah.
It's like it was a secondary main event.
We got lots of questions here. So are we time limited here? Are you guys?
It's 8:30 for me. I don't want to go on for forever, but
No, I'm saying like we're not rushed or anything, right?
I don't have like a hard out or anything. No.
Okay. So what is? I'll start with you, EVP Joe. What is your favorite theme song?
Ooh,
wrestler's entrance.
I don't know. There's so many good ones.
This would be all time. We're not talking just now.
I mean, if we're going all time, y'all know I'm an HBK guy.
That's a boy. He's like a boy toy.
But honestly, like if I go onto YouTube and listen to music, I always find myself pulling up Randy Orton's first theme song, "Burning My Light."
That was good.
And I listen to the real song, not just the WWE cut song. So I love that song. It's such a great song.
That's what you're going with. You're not going with Sexy Boy.
No.
So, all right, Mr. Isaacs, who are you going with?
I like CM Punk's original theme by one of my favorite bands, Killswitch Engage, "This Fire Burns."
That's a good one.
I love that song.
I'm not even sure if that's my favorite Punk entrance because I love his ROH one.
Yeah. The AFI song. Yeah. That is good.
Area Cantera or something like that.
My secondary choice would be the Judgment Days Alter Bridge song. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but that's a badass
what would your
song
secondary
too.
one be, EVP?
Another one that I go on YouTube listen to a lot is Nakamura's Rising Sun.
Oh, that's so good.
Just the violin in it is freaking awesome. I love it.
I'll do my secondary first since we're doing a secondary out of this. The screech of Bret Hart's music. Just love it.
I'm
But,
surprised that's number 2.
I was going to say, which Hart family member is it?
Well, this Swerve entrance.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, excellent.
there's
Like,
just so many
You just
songs.
swerve. Come on.
Like I love Edge's Metalingus, Batista's I Walk Alone.
Mm.
Like there's
Basically,
just-
any of the ones that real bands did.
yeah, I think that's the thing. I like real music, not this
I do too.
CFO dollar money.
Dude, Pantera Walk, Rob Van Dam's ECW
Oh,
theme.
yes.
That's up there on my list too.
Yep.
Candace
I love
Gaines. Yeah, can't argue with Razor Ramon.
them.
Yeah, well,
Those are
because
my
Jim
bones.
Johnson was an actual music person. Like he actually, he speaking of Hall of Fame, I don't know why he's not in the Hall of Fame. Like that's
He should be. Yeah,
Wait,
he needs
Swerve?
to be.
Who's the music writer?
And another one that I love, and it's the only person's NXT shirt that I own, and it is Bobby Roode's "Glorious."
Oh my
Oh,
god.
it's good. It's good.
Dude, some of those NXT songs from like 2014 were straight fire.
Yeah,
Like almost
Like-
all those themes were great.
Undisputed Eras,
Yes.
great, and it's so great because it's so similar to Adam Cole's current music.
Yep. Yeah, those are
All right,
all
we got to
good
move on to
songs.
the next question here, guys. Mr. Isaacs, how are you doing today?
I am doing pretty well. I'm not looking forward to Monday morning, but I'm doing all right now. I'm hanging out with my buddies here.
All right, so my question for you: how would you solve the problems facing America? No, I'm just kidding.
That is a
you're gonna get me in
loaded
trouble
question.
asking me that.
I'm kidding. We're not political here on the All Left Wrestling Show. Well, we try not to be. Best Undertaker WrestleMania match.
25 against HBK, the one I mentioned earlier, without a doubt.
Okay, I also agree that it's 25, but to offer a little variety, I don't know which one it is, but his match with Punk was really good as well.
Yeah.
I want to say, was that 26
It was
or was it?
27 or 28. It's the one from like what 2010, something like
I
that.
don't remember.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with his match against Giant Gonzalez. No, I'm just kidding.
Best, sir, not worst.
I just want to watch the world burn today. No, I'm going to go, and I do still want to watch the world burn. I'm going to go with his last match on the streak where he lost to Brock Lesnar.
Okay. All right.
One where he had the concussion, didn't remember what was going on.
I lost? What? What do you mean I lost? Next question, Joe. Will John Cena retire a heel?
No, he will not. I think there's money in the heel chase and then the flip towards the end.
Yeah, I agree. He's not going to stay a heel. I could see him losing to Cody, Rock smacking him around like you let me down, you're a bitch. Him rising up against Rock, and then they end up like they need to have a rubber match.
You know what's gonna happen, and this is my prediction of like this bad writing. After Cody gets the belt back after he loses it, I just had to know. Do the thing like HBK and Hogan. I just had to know.
I just had to know.
I mean, yeah, because you know what? Like, if you listen to his promos, like, he's really not taking the responsibility for being heel. He's like, I made fun of someone, you all laughed, and the WWE promoted it. Like, if you listen, he's still saying WWE are the bad guys here, not me.
Yeah. I don't like the way they're taking this direction, honestly.
No, it's the worst
I don't like
possible
it.
thing they could
No,
have done.
don't be focusing on the fans.
He should have been straight up Hollywood heel Cena.
This should
That's what he
have
should have done.
no. The whole reason for his heel turn should have been, I haven't won a match in so many years. I need to win the 17th world title, and this is the easiest way to do it. Just that should have been the story.
Yeah.
All right, next question. Jeremy, who is the best on the mic today?
The best on the mic today of anybody
Yeah, who
and
did
any promotion.
Yeah.
I'm going to say MJF. I think he's the best on the microphone of anybody in any promotion.
It's hard to argue.
Yep.
So MJF
For the sake of argument, let's hear what you have to say, Joe.
two names came to mind, and honestly, yes, I don't watch WWE as much, but even then, I don't think there's anyone who compete. MJF came to mind, but honestly, here as of late, Swerve. I love when he gets on the mic. So
All right.
I hate going last because you take all the good answers. I know what you feel like now, Joe. But yeah, I think these MJF and Swerve. I think Swerve can change it up a bit. I'm gonna go Swerve just because he's my favorite right now.
All right.
What's Cat?
I like Shane's answer. The best on the mic is Solo.
Oh, it's a god.
he's not even the best in his group on the mic.
I love it.
You know what? CM Punk hasn't been good on the mic in a long time.
I disagree with that.
It's Drew, and it's not even close.
I still think he's very good on the mic.
Well, no, like when was the last good, really good promo? It was in AEW.
Nah, he got a really good one that first Netflix show. Really good one. Punk would be my number 2 behind MJF if we were doing like top 2.
But this is in the mailbag. Let's see if you guys got anything here. Joe, do you have any secret talent?
No. No secret talents. And if I did, I'm not putting it on YouTube.
Well, that's clicks, baby.
No, I really don't have any secret talents.
What about you, Mr. Isaacs?
I don't think so. I think what you see is what you get with me. You know, I've got the radio voice, so I can sing.
Can you sing for us on the show?
No. I'm not gonna. Like I said before about another conversation, I'm not a seal that claps on command. Okay, but
what was this conversation that we had?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
But I can sing. I'm a pretty good singer.
Are you big on the karaoke? When did you get up there and do that?
I have. Yeah.
Shane, that's not a talent. That's just your way of life, sir.
It's just my way of life. I'm
talking to Shane.
Talented on the microphone. That's all I can say.
Shotgun beer in seconds.
I can shot in seconds.
Shane, I am not surprised, my friend.
Of course you're not. We've seen him do it a million times.
Yeah, he's done it on the show, right? He's done it on the show before. Am I right about that?
Yeah.
That in every promo in AFW.
That's true.
I'm gonna give you my elf impression.
Okay.
Ha! Give me 4.
Now don't start trying to eat fruit, cat. All right.
Then we just left the room.
He's like, "Fuck! He's turning into Alf again. I better get out of here."
I love that show, by the way. All right. Next question. Joe, what's your favorite faction of all time?
Ooh, favorite faction of all time. Has to be the original, the Four Horsemen. They did it great. They had the mouthpiece, and they just everything about it. Everyone in that.
Were you watching them back then?
I went back and watched it. I was born in '85. Yeah, I was born in '85, but I went back and watched, and like, I mean, and even then, like, the Four Horsemen were still around well into the 90s. I remember the Nitro special with the reunion of the Horsemen where they added.
Oh, that was the worst Horseman ever.
No, I don't know. Maybe.
They
But
had
yeah,
like
no.
5 people in it.
Yeah, but like just the Four Horsemen, because especially the beginning, you had everyone with their defined roles. They literally dressed the part, they walked the part, they talked the part. Like it's just,
Eddie's calling in.
what's up, Eddie?
Cannabis Gaines, what's up, my man?
So Eddie, why did
Hey guys, how you doing?
Oh, he's
on a delay.
yeah, you're on a
He's got the Cannibal Corpse shirt on. I dig that. I'm a death metal fan.
Hey, let me.
Okay, we have a question for you, Eddie. What is your
Yes, sir.
favorite faction?
Oh man. Honestly, my favorite, if I had to pick one to watch, it's going to be the Dangerous Alliance
Oh,
That's a
all
good
right.
one.
because that stable when you got Bobby E and Rick Rude, Stunning Steve Austin, Arn Anderson. I'm sure I'm missing one. Managed by Paul Heyman. They had a classic War Games match. I don't know. I grew up in the '90s, man.
Yeah, that's a good choice. I like that.
What about you, Mr. Isaacs? What are you picking?
Shane mentions it in the chat. I'm going to say DX whenever X-Pac and the New Age Outlaws join. That faction was on fire back then. Loved it.
I'm going to go with the Hart Foundation. That was such a magical time in wrestling for me when they had the Canada versus USA wrestling battles.
Yeah.
And like they were like gods in Canada.
I can imagine.
Eddie, did you have a question for us? It's a nice fan.
All right.
Eddie, did you have a question for us?
Yes, sir. You guys got me now?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that delay.
Yeah,
Did
we're
you
good.
get my good my faction, right? Dangerous Alliance.
Yep, we got
Yeah,
that.
Yes, sir. We got it.
yeah, we thought it was good.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. I got a question for you. All right, we got the Death Riders angle. Got mixed reviews in the IWC, as we know, but that's the storyline that's going on. How long do you see this going? Are we going to be talking about this a year from now, or is this going to come to an end on All In, and who's the guy that's gonna put it away? Yeah, that's my question.
All right, Evie Joe, what do you think?
If I had it my way, I say it ends next Sunday at Dynasty. You have a great way to do it. You have the 6-man and you have the world title match. But in my heart of hearts, I just feel like it's going to be at All In. And I don't know how they make it last until All In.
Jeremy?
Yeah, I'm kind of with Joe here. I really, really wish it would end because it's absolutely god awful and I hate it. But I'm afraid it's going to continue on to at least All In, if not World's End.
Oh, good. Please not World's End. No.
I hate to will that into existence, but I think it's a possibility.
I think that Tony Khan is kind of reading the room here. He's seeing these comments about the Death Riders. He can't be that stubborn.
You sure?
Are you sure about that?
I'm not so
Can't be
certain
that
about
stubborn.
that.
As I do my best Cena poking through the head, through the wall.
Yeah, I really think that Swerve is going to defeat Moxley
Okay.
at Dynasty.
Well, Eddie, you asked a question. What's your answer to this?
Honestly, I wish this would have ended a long time ago, man.
Yep.
I wish Will Hobbs would have been the guy. Shoot, I think Bobby Lashley should have came in and took the belt off him right away. This thing, I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep my opinion to myself. I'm not a big fan of this style of mox. Like I talked to Aaron before in the chats, and we like OG. I like OG Mox when he was a loner. He did things on his own. I just think that's my preferred preference. Now maybe Tony Khan's doing the hey, I think I owe it to the guy to let him do his thing, kind of like what they did with Stone Cold, let him do the heel run. But hopefully, yeah, Swerve. I like Swerve as the guy. They're hinting maybe Will Ospreay all in. I don't know. If I really had the pencil, I'm just going my personal preference. I would have Eddie Kingston do it, but
Oh,
that's my dude. I don't care, man.
we're not big Eddie fans here on the show.
Why, man? I like the name Eddie, man. So,
I can't fault you for that one.
but business wise, I would go with Swerve. I think Swerve is building that aura about him, and I would go with him. Number 2, business wise, probably maybe Ospreay, or
Well, I think you can get Swerve to All In and lose to Osprey because they 50-50 booking.
Yeah, you can do that.
Beat 'em up here.
You'll send the crowd home happy either way. I can see that.
I won't be going home happy, that's for sure.
So I don't know. Yeah, speaking to All In, yeah, I'll probably get tickets to that. It's about a 30-minute drive from me, man. So
I already got my tickets, and I'm buying my hotel and plane tomorrow, probably.
No, sweet, man.
We'll have to meet up.
Yeah, for sure, man. Arlington's a cool town, man.
Hell yeah.
Eddie, thank you so much for calling in. You did fabulous your first time calling in.
Thanks, brother.
And we look forward to hearing more from you, buddy.
Yeah, hey, man, I appreciate the love for the metal guys.
Yes, sir.
And good night, guys.
Good night.
Have a good one, buddy.
All right, see you later.
Yes, sir.
So this was my hot take on the All Effing Wrestling community. I posted this, and it's pretty much the reason why Jon Moxley and the Death Riders doesn't work. It's not that the idea is shit.
It is.
It could be. But the main problem is Jon Moxley. It doesn't suit him. He's not supposed to be the power guy, the guy in charge. He's the guy that's supposed to be solo fighting the establishment.
He's the loose cannon guy.
Yeah, not holding people underneath his thumb. It doesn't work for him.
No, but I absolutely agree with Eddie's take that I think this is Tony Khan's way of thanking him for everything he did through the pandemic and through the whole Punk and Elite issues. I think he was the reliable one. He's like, I owe him to at least let him try this out.
Old reliable. That's what Mox is.
Yeah, and there's nothing. Everyone needs an old reliable. I mean,
everybody needs an old reliable with a needle sticking out his back. Does
anyone have anything left to say about Moxley or Death Riders?
Nope.
I just hope it ends soon. That's it.
Which brings us to the next question. You guys can answer it. Does Swerve beat Moxley?
No.
Joe?
Every bone in my being says no. As much as I would love to see it, because I'm a Swerve guy, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right, and I don't know what it is. It's nothing against like Swerve, just for the story purpose, it just doesn't feel right.
Yeah. What do you think, Mr. Isaacs?
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think they're keeping right along with this Death Riders thing. I think it's going to be the Death Riders are causing chaos and things are out of control and the title belt's in a briefcase for some reason, and we're not going to explain why for months and months and months. And I think this is going to continue. I think it's going to continue at least until All In.
Would you like this more if the belt wasn't in the briefcase, Mr. Isaacs?
No,
I would like it if the belt wasn't like that.
I wish he would carry the belt. At least have some kind of explanation why he's not carrying the belt. I mean, it's weird. I don't know.
Like
even if the case was see-through and you could see the belt.
That would be strange.
You could have,
No one
you
else
have,
can
you could have a
see it.
remote that changes its opacity so you could see it or not see it, depending on how he feels in the day.
Some real Tony Stark stuff here, right?
Yeah.
I chose blood red because I bleed. Yeah. That's what he would do.
Changing the pace a bit here with this question, EVP Joe. Which wrestler do you think is just the nicest in real life?
MJF? No. Who do I think is the nicest? Jeez.
I got one.
Mark Briscoe. I bet you he's probably like one of the sweetest guys to meet.
Okay.
He's a Southern Delaware guy. Most people like just he seems like someone you could have a beer with and just talk and tell stories with.
I can see
Mr.
that.
Isaacs?
I think the nicest guy to meet today would probably be Adam Copeland.
Oh, that's a good one. Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go with my friend Natalia Markova.
All right.
How can you go wrong with somebody who chats with you all the time?
Yeah. Good point. Good point.
Who is the toughest son of a bitch wrestler ever? Mr.
Ooh.
Isaacs?
Like as a shoot?
Yeah, just a tough guy that you wouldn't want to fuck with.
Dan Severn.
That's a good answer.
That's kind of cheating.
I took this in a different way, and I said, like, it's a toss-up between Mick Foley and Terry Funk. Those
Now,
two.
if we're talking like guys that are not shoot fighters, if we're excluding, let's say we're excluding shoot fighters.
Okay, let's do that. Let's do that.
Okay.
Because
I would say
Shamrock
Andre the
and
Giant.
Kick-Ass too back.
Andre the Giant.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a
I'm still
bad
going with
motherfucker. And if he didn't like you, he would let you know.
who you going with, EBB Joe?
Mick Foley. The man got his ear blew off and still continued to work.
All right.
I like
I'm
Shane's
going-
answer. Shane's answer is really good.
Haku. That's a good one.
Yeah.
You always hear stories about him.
Haku is regarded as one of the toughest ever,
Yeah.
but Bret Hart thinks that it's John Tenta.
That's interesting. You know, he did have a semi-shoot wrestling match that turned into a shoot in Japan. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, he wasn't.
Dude
wanting
tried to
do
poke his
anymore.
eyeball out.
Yeah,
And like he reared back and was like, "Motherfucker, I'll poke your eyeball out." And they like really got into a shoot fight.
Real quick, Mr. Isaacs, Haku was Meng in WCW, right?
yeah.
Yes, he was.
So I'll tell you though, I wouldn't want to mess with Meng and Barbarian. Those two were would not want to
Main
mess with
Barbarian, Bruiser Brody's another one. Stan Hansen, Vader.
Now,
Any of those guys.
Earthquake is going into the WWE Hall of Fame with his partner Tugboat.
Hmm?
He's always Tugboat, man. He's not Typhoon. He's Tugboat. And you know, as tough as a son of a bitch as he was, like he would get on the ground and play with kids.
Yeah,
Like he was just a real sweetheart in that.
I've heard
Yeah,
good things about
Got to
him.
keep his humanity somehow. I mean,
Technically, you could even argue that he would fit in the shoot fighter exclusion because he was a legit sumo wrestler.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he was a legit tough dude for sure.
Next question. Who went last? First.
I don't
I don't
know.
know.
I'm just alternating behind. EVP Joe, if you were a stripper, what would your stage name be?
I have no idea because I've never
Gotta come up with something here.
Oh God!
This is what pays to be second.
My wife said GI Joe.
Oh,
I like it.
hey, if you're a Marine, man, it fucking fits. G.I. Joe. I
Yeah.
like it. I like it.
Sure, let's go with that because I ain't got nothing any better.
I like it. And your wife's naming you it, so why not, right? She's giving you the go.
Oh,
Mr. Isaacs.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You're gonna go as Jesus Christ on a stripper pole?
I'm gonna be Jesus Christ Superstar. That's what I'm gonna be. Well, if I can't choose Mr. Isaacs, because I know that would be kind of cheating, I guess. I don't.
You have an
fucking
expert.
know.
You come all brainy, right?
Yeah, maybe I'm the ravishing expert.
Oh, there you go.
We could go with that.
Take off your Poindexter stuff. And you're like,
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
Canada Dry, your name is
Professor Sexy, maybe something like that. Yeah.
oh, I'm Canada. Effing dry.
I thought you were gonna say Canada effing wet. How about that?
Well, no, I'd be Todd McNasty is who I'd be.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Gotta
you've
be
already
Todd
got a
McNasty.
name. Yeah. Todd McNasty has got to be you.
Oh yeah, I can't go out as the Canadian hero. I gotta go out as Todd McNasty.
Ooh. Who
To
wants
any
some maple
first
syrup
time
up
viewers,
there?
we're sorry. No. Mr. Isaacs, apologize to your friend personally. That would be great. No.
You know, Tiffany, it's not easy doing these shows. I gotta entertain you.
Mute Canada. I can't mute him. It's his own
Can't
channel.
mute
all
the
right?
guy who's running the show.
I can't mute the guy who owns the YouTube channel. Come on now.
That'd be like, I don't know what it'd be like, but it'd be like something.
It would be like something not feasible, right?
Yes. Here's something, Mr. Isaacs. Biggest missed opportunity for a storyline in wrestling.
God, like ever?
I mean, there's the
Anything you want.
obvious answer.
I mean, I'll go with something obvious from the past year.
Go ahead.
The Rock and Roman Reigns. I mean, like they could have done Rock versus Roman Reigns, which is what they wanted to do, and apparently they just veered off from it for some unknown reason. I think that could have been huge.
Well, why didn't you do that night one instead?
They've got brain worms. I don't know.
Like, if you really want to talk about main events, you make that your night one main event.
Yeah,
And the winner faces Cody for the title.
it would have been fantastic. I don't know why they didn't.
That would
pull
have been the
trigger on
biggest
that.
mania ever.
Oh, absolutely. It would have been absolutely huge. I mean, it was anyways, but it would have been even bigger.
Okay, so I'm going to give you one WWE one and one AEW one.
The devil
Yeah.
one's AEW, right?
2 for
What?
1 deal.
What'd you say?
Is the devil one your AEW one? Because that was a very close number 2 for me.
No, I was going to say the Bucks taking out Tony Khan. I think that should have been something much bigger.
Absolutely should have. I
And then
agree.
the obvious number one biggest miss of all time is the Invasion.
Mm,
WWE.
Oh my god.
Vince fumbled that story so bad. It's been talked to death, but it's the clear number one missed booking thing ever.
And my ultimate missed storyline is that idiot, that buffoon, Eric Bischoff. He signs Bret Hart to WCW. Guess who else he signs? He signs Anvil. He signs British Bulldog. And he doesn't make them a faction?
Yep,
You idiot.
that's pretty dumb.
Like, you don't have to call them the Hart Foundation. The Hart family is fine.
Yeah. Any
And you
variation.
could have
of
brought
Hart.
Jericho in or someone like that.
You could have redid Team Canada or something.
Throw in
Like,
Jericho, throw in Benoit.
yeah.
You know, I mean, it would have been its own thing and it would have been great.
But I guarantee you, Hulk Hogan kiboshed it. I bet you
Well,
Hulk Hogan.
Absolutely. Guarantee you. If
Because
and, or
Bret Hart, here's Bret Hart hot as fuck
Yeah.
coming into WCW. And they're like pouring water all over it as he's like,
it's either that or if Bischoff had tried, I guarantee you he would have. There's no way Hogan was going to let Bret come in and outshine him.
I'm the star, brother.
Yeah. He doesn't have
they're both the NWO, not the Hart Foundation.
There's no free agents, brother. There's only the agent.
EVP Joe,
Yes,
is your wife in the room right now?
Oh Jesus!
she's in the room next door.
Oh my God!
Who is your wrestling crush?
Wrestling crush. I think nowadays I don't have one.
What did she say?
I will say, back when I was younger, before I met my wife, it was
What?
Lita.
She goes, what?
What?
Before I met my wife, it was Lita.
She's like,
Oh.
you did not have eyes before you met me. You understand?
Mr. Isaacs, is there a crush you have right now on a wrestler?
Tiffany Stratton.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hot, new on the scene.
Absolutely.
Now, would you be really disappointed if Charlotte won?
I mean, she's probably going to. So,
Well, I think that's the wrong move if it is.
yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I don't want to see Charlotte win, but it's Charlotte Flair, for God's sake.
Well, since you brought this topic up, I didn't want to put it in the news because it made me really got me boiling. But for Ric Flair to say that Charlotte is the best wrestler in WWE and we don't need to worry about John Cena or Cody Rhodes, are you
He's
out of
ridiculous.
your mind? That man is clearly gone off the deep end twice over. now.
I don't think he even believes it. I think he's just pumping
He's
his daughter's
kayfabing.
tires, and that's all it is.
He's doing carny kayfabe shit. That's all it is. He's just hyping up his daughter.
I hope they have Ric Flair front and center night 2 when Cena wins to tie or break his record. What is it to break it? And I hope he heals it up and goes and rubs it in Ric Flair's face.
Because it'd be Cena's 17th win, right? And the record's 16,
Yes.
which is held by Flair. And Cena has 16 as well. He's tied with him. Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure. I was
Now, my wrestling crush is the crush because
Shocker.
also she's the one that encouraged me to even start it. AFW, like,
Yeah.
when a hot wrestler tells you can do it and believes in you, I'm like, maybe I can.
Yeah.
You just need
Understand.
someone to believe in you for half a second.
That's the
sometimes.
founding story of this YouTube channel. This came to be because of Natalia Markova. So I think that's a good answer on your part. Yeah.
Kate has a question for us in the chat.
Where the hell is EVB Joe? What's your favorite wrestling events you ever attended?
The favorite one I went to was Super Card of Honor last year, where Mark Briscoe won the ROH title. Billy Starks was crowned the inaugural ROH women's TV champion. That was a great card. I loved it. I had fun.
Oh yeah, that was the one with Billy Starks faking the injury.
Yep. And she sold it so well. Everyone around me was like, "No, not like this." Like she had them worked.
Yeah, Billy Starks is going to be a world champion somewhere, I tell you.
Yeah.
Who was your favorite event that you went to, Mr. Isaacs?
For me, it was Monday Night Raw, the night after Survivor Series. I believe it was either 1998 or 1999. I think it was 98.
Oh, where the Rock one?
Yeah.
That was 98, Deadly Games.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was at Rupp Arena the next night. Yeah.
Well, I've only been to one wrestling event, so it's AEW Collision. And the best call-in ever.
Yeah.
Very true. Your tag
Shane.
team with Shane. Your tag team call in.
I've been so like my choices aren't as slim as Canada Dry's. I've been to one WWE house show. I've been to the one ROH pay-per-view. I've been to a handful of AEW shows, but I also went to a block booking of ROH before it was sold. Like this was right after Adam Cole got kicked out of the Bullet Club, right before he left for WWE. So I was there for the TV tapings the whole month before he left to go to NXT.
You want to know what the most unexpected one I was at? I was at a WWF Superstars taping in the early 90s, and it was not advertised as a TV show. And we were all so confused because it started at like 7 at night, It didn't end till like 1 a.m.
Oh,
And
man.
like, and they were like reshooting matches over again, and like people were wrestling multiple times. We're like, what the hell's going on here? What is this?
But they didn't tell you. They didn't tell the fans.
No, they taped like an entire month of WWF Superstars.
Like
so that Saturday, it was all the show that I went to for a month.
That's weird because Bobby Cruz was sure to make sure, like, look, this is the show. We need you loud. This is the start of your next show. We need you loud. Like, he made sure that we knew when the new shows were starting to be taped, so we would, because it's
They
like,
did not do that
like you
for
said,
us.
4 hours of TV. That's like 5-6 hours of taping. Like, it's a long taping session.
It was long. It was very long. We were
All
a little
right,
taken back by it.
So if you guys have some questions, we're running low on questions here. So if you guys want to think of some questions to ask, I got a couple more, but if you guys would like to ask some questions, it doesn't matter how preposterous it is, silly, goofy, whatever. We'll answer it. The next question is really fun, though. EVP Joe.
Yes.
How you doing? How you doing?
You know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm getting over the stomach flu. So I'm better now. My son had it earlier this week. I had it like Thursday to basically today, and my daughter got it today.
Now, did you drink some ginger ale?
I didn't drink ginger ale. I drank water.
Okay. So my question for you is, if AFW was a real wrestling promotion where we booked real matches, what would your job be in the wrestling promotion?
Well, I mean, I'm the GM of our league as it is. I would like to think you'd make me the GM of our real promotion where I just book the matches.
All right. Mr. Isaac, same question.
Play-by-play commentator.
Would you be willing to also like announce once in a while as like the
Sure. Announcing, any kind of like announcing or commentary would be me.
I would be on commentary as well, and I'd be the owner.
The Vince McMahon of the 1990s.
Oh yeah, totally. I kind of love that he was doing that and was playing like I'm just a dumb announcer kind of thing.
Jesse Ventura, I got a shit on him. That's just great.
Oh yeah, there must have been some tension when he was trying to unionize.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
And he's going to have to call him that. And he's like,
I tell you, McMahon, the money class in this country, they just want to hold down and suppress labor movements. Shut the fuck
that's
up.
not.
Jesse.
You're talking about secret talents right there. That's a dead-on Jesse Ventura.
McMahon, you gotta start forking over some money for the boys.
You know, speaking of union, I got a story for you. I used to work for a warehouse. And at my place specifically, like the rumors of we want a union started getting up. Well, someone from the corporate office came down and said, if you all unionize, we have no problem shutting this warehouse down for 366 days and shipping the work off somewhere else. Because in America, like here in the States, if you close because of union, you have to be closed for a year and a day. And then you're allowed to reopen. Needless to say, the union talk ceased.
That was like an episode of The Office where they were trying to unionize and the boss came down and talked some shit and they backed off.
We're not paying you more money, all right? Just ain't gonna happen. I tried to unionize here at AFW and Canada Dry told me to knock that shit off.
Yeah, I like the idea of paying you guys nothing.
Tiffany has a question.
This is an interesting question. Who's your wrestling guilty pleasure? What do you think she means, ZB Joe?
I guess it's like when I think of a guilty pleasure, it's something that's not popular.
I take that as something that most people would think is not very good, but it really like tickles your lizard brain for some reason.
And I don't have an answer at the moment. I got to take some time to think about a guilty pleasure.
I'll go first for a change. I like these rough and tumble death matches, like the one Swerve had with Hangman both those times. I didn't mind the Moxley thing once in a Blue Moon doing something edgy like that. That's my guilty pleasure.
So it looks like she said wrestler guilty pleasure. Like I think she's looking for a particular person.
Well, I'm changing it to wrestling. Okay, I don't
have a
know
wrestler
yet.
in mind.
Okay, you can do wrestling or wrestler. How about that?
I'll go ahead and go. My wrestler that's my guilty pleasure of all time is the Sandman. The Sandman would come out. He'd carry a big ass cane. They called it a Singapore cane, which is a kendo stick, but they called it that because some poor kid got whipped with a cane in Singapore because he got caught with drugs over there around that time. So they started calling it a Singapore cane. But he would come out with the kendo stick, smoking a cigar or a cigarette, popping beer and drinking it. And he would just jump in the ring.
Not beers.
And then he would just get in the ring and just beat the shit out of people while Metallica's Enter Sandman was playing. Like, that just was cool. I didn't care he was a shit wrestler. I liked it. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, wrestling or wrestler there, you do.
I just don't. I don't know. I never really. I mean, I think part of like it is just like the deathcore, like because I don't like it all the time. I have to be in the mood for it, so I guess that's my guilty pleasure.
Okay.
And just doing it to do it sometimes, I'm just like, I could take it or leave it.
I love violent matches. I just don't like glass or something cutting somebody. Like I don't like that. Needles and glass, like I don't like that. Flaming tables, any kind of blunt object, I'm cool with all that.
Look, but you bringing up Sandman, like he has some of the most iconic entrances in wrestling I've ever seen.
Yeah, Metallica's
If Sandman doesn't do that, do we get the same Stone Cold?
I think so.
He did borrow a little bit from.
He borrowed a little bit. He borrowed the beer for sure. Yeah. I think he definitely influenced the Stone Cold character. I do, because he predated him.
Yeah, like even for WWE, like he had some pretty big ones. Like at One Night Stand, it was him and Tommy Dreamer, and they're sitting there pouring beers all over these girls.
Do you remember his WCW debut? And he just never after that is like no.
Hardcore hack.
Yeah,
he was their hardcore champion for a period of time. Yeah,
yeah. His career in WCW was like a cup of coffee.
Yeah. Well, they tried to make a WCW hardcore division and kind of tried to.
They had it for a while because I love it. You know what? I'm changing my mind. You know what my guilty pleasure is? Norman Smiley is the hardcore.
I love watching Norman Smiley. That's my guilty pleasure.
You like watching his big wiggle. That's what it was.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it was like screaming Norman Smiley. He's screaming as he's getting his ass kicked. It was a good gimmick. Had a football helmet on. And
that was funny. Yeah.
Like the worst part though is like they had a hardcore title and it was this nice, pristine title. I'm like, what are you doing?
Do you remember they had the original was just a trophy?
Oh gosh.
I don't even remember.
Yeah, he had this junkyard match and he won this trophy in a hardcore match with some other band. I don't even know who he beat.
That's great. That's great.
Knowing WCW was a battle royal of some kind that he probably.
It was a junkyard match in some junkyard. Fit Family. I don't remember who the other guy. Probably like one of those. Who's the guy that used to be in Raven's Flock? Van Hammer.
There was Van Hammer. There was Perry Saturn. There was.
I think it was Van Hammer or someone like that, and that he won it off of.
I mean, Billy Kidman was in there. I mean,
Sick Boy. Remember Sick Boy?
Yeah.
He wrestled a lot of hardcore matches.
Man, yeah. WCW had some of the weirdest character names. Prince Iakea.
the artist formerly known.
Yeah, the artist formerly known as Prince Iakea.
Remember the Maestro?
At least they gave them gimmicks instead of just nameless guys. That
I hate him when Russo came in and started doing knockoff WWE characters. Like when he made Brad Armstrong imitate his brother, Road Dogg. And like when he had Asia instead of China. It was so cornball.
Honestly, you know what's another guilty pleasure of mine? Alex Wright. Das Wunderkind.
Can you do the dance?
Oh, God, I can't remember it, so no. I'm going to pass.
What wrestler, this is going back to the mailbag for our final question in the bag. What wrestler would you turn heel right now? Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll give you two. I'll give you one in WWE, one in AEW. Who wants to go first?
Oh, jeez.
Well, I'll go first, but in AEW, I'm turning FTR heel. Sorry, it's a little bit of a cheat, but they're turning heel on Cope. And it should just happen at the pay-per-view, get it over and done with. I don't need a slow burn on that. And for WWE, you know what? I don't think they really need anyone, but if I had to say someone, I'd say turn Braun Breaker heel. I think it'll give him some fresh matchups for his Intercontinental title. I don't really have a good answer for WWE. So
isn't Braun already kind of a semi-heel?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really watch the show, so I don't know.
Okay.
You got anyone, Mr. Isaacs?
I would say for WWE, I think I would turn Punk heel. And I would have him just rail against how horrible and evil WWE's been for the past decade.
Yeah.
I think that would be really good.
I mean, but he went back to them. I would laugh at him. Like, if you hated him so much, why'd you go back?
Well, I don't know.
Well, he's a heel. He can do whatever the hell he wants. And he can
it would still work. And in AEW, I would have Will Ospreay cheat to beat whoever the world champion is, preferably Swerve, and turn heel. And be a cocky international heel like he was in New Japan when he was the IWGP champion.
You want them to turn arguably their biggest babyface in the company right now.
I absolutely do. And it would make Swerve the biggest babyface then, and those two could have a dynamic feud with each other.
You're right.
Right, and they both got one win against each other. Oh, I like this booking.
I'm thinking cap here, fellas.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn Garcia heel because he needs to be a heel because
I think that's happening regardless.
He's so bland as a face. He needs that.
You know how he should turn heel? He should lose the title at Dynasty, and then Daddy Magic comes out. You just have Garcia obliterate him.
There you go. Because that's like his biggest cheerleader.
Yeah.
That would work. Yeah. I like it.
It doesn't need to be
or Daddy Magic turns with him.
No. It'll only work if you have Garcia turn on Daddy Magic. That's how it needs to happen.
Could you imagine Ospreay as like a modern day flamboyant, flashy Ric Flair-esque heel in AEW?
Oh yeah, he comes out the robe
with the robes and the grandiose entrance.
And what he needs to do is lay on the thick accent and use more British words that no one can understand to piss people off.
How dope would that be, guys? How incredible would that be?
Oh, it would be great.
All right,
and honestly, it would be a way to get back with United Empire at some point.
Yeah.
And WWE heel turn. That's a tough one. You took a very good answer in the CM Punk.
And we can't say Cena because it already happened.
Yeah.
We all would have said Cena before.
They've turned people heels back and forth so much that there's such a limited
Big Show syndrome.
Yeah, there's such a limited.
I call it Big Show syndrome.
Like
BSS.
Kevin Owens is kind of getting that too.
Yeah, he kind of has Big Show syndrome. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, so does Sammy. Basically, like he doesn't know if he wants to be a face or a heel.
He's a pretty face right now. He's been a face for a while.
And aligned with someone who doesn't know if he's a face or a heel in Roman Reigns because he doesn't know.
Well, I think Roman is pretty what you call a tweener right now.
A tweener, yeah.
Did you see his teeth? Like, is he just getting new teeth or something? They're like white as like.
Oh, he's had that for about a year, dude. Yeah, his teeth got like I don't know, he got his fucking teeth capped or something. Yeah.
Veneers
look
or
like-
something.
Yeah, it looks
Remember
like
Randy Orton made fun of that like a year ago on Twitter?
It is, but you know what? Honestly, like I watched that video or a video they put up on Facebook earlier today, and it seems like he's had them redone because they were bright white.
Yeah. Yeah, do you ever see that episode of Friends where Ross had his teeth painted white to impress this girl?
No.
And they were glowing in the dark. All I see is his white teeth. We have a question here from Dossie Cheatham. What was your favorite gimmick match and your worst gimmick match?
My favorite gimmick match is Hell in a Cell. And the worst gimmick match of all time is probably what was that Punjabi prison match with Great Khali and Randy Orton?
Yeah, that was pretty
That's
bad.
gotta be the worst.
Okay. My favorite gimmick match is War Games, but WCW's version where it's pin or submission only. Submission or give up. No pins. There's a roof on top.
Yeah.
AEW almost has it, but no pins. And then the worst gimmick is the King of the Road match between Goldust and WCW, and I forget the other person. That was a god-awful match. And it was so bad that it got people fired. So
Yeah, that was really bad. My favorite has to be the Iron Man match. A whole hour of wrestling. I think that just is fantastic.
it's got to be done right, though. There's not many
Yeah.
that I like. Like Danielson and MJF are good, but I've been on the record. I hated Shawn and Brett. I hated that Iron Man match.
You hate it now, or did you hate it then?
I didn't really think of it then, but now that
Because I think like you can't look at it with today's lens.
well, no, like
Because it's
I
different.
mean, I absolutely can because to me, when you say Iron Man match, that implies the whole purpose of an Iron Man match is most pins. That was just an hour-long match that went 5 minutes over because neither one could get a pin.
Well, the rule was there. They just only pinned each other once.
Yeah, it sucked. It was a boring-ass match.
EVP
And I'm
Joe
saying that as
says-
a Shawn Michaels fan.
He says,
So,
I don't want to see no 10-minute sleeper holds, okay?
Yeah.
Like, let's get this shit over with.
Worst match. Oh, it's that chainsaw match that AEW had. The chainsaw, what was it?
Oh, when Leatherface came out?
No, that was come on. Just goofy stuff like that. Or the Mountain Dew
Oh,
Pitch
geez.
Black Lights Out match.
yeah, it's like, oh, that was
bad.
I don't remember the name of it, but my runner-up is that WCW match where they put Abdullah the Butcher in an electric chair and shocked him to death.
Oh yeah, at Halloween Havoc. Yeah, that was bad.
I don't remember what that was called, but that was completely stupid too.
I'm sorry, but we can't end this without putting TNA and their litany of bad matches.
Oh,
The
geez.
Reverse Battle Royal was so bad. Or the King of the Mountain match where you had to hang up the title instead of taking it down.
The reverse ladder match. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's I don't know. That's not a bad idea. As long as you do it right.
I never liked the Ultimate X match because I always thought somebody was going to break their neck.
Yeah, but it's better than everyone battling on the floor outside and trying to two people to get back into the ring.
Yeah.
No, what's dumb was the WWE scramble.
No, I liked that. Like that was rather like I enjoyed that because
You had the title changing hands, but it never counted. The concept was all right, but you can't make them the champion. That like Rey Mysterio is now the WWE champion. Oh, now he's not.
no, Should have been quicker than that.
Shane has
you're not-
a
you're not
Judy
officially the
Bagwell in a
champion.
forklift match.
Yeah.
The idea of that is pretty much King of the Hill, Halo sort of thing,
Right.
where whoever holds the belt last wins. So like they could get around it if they didn't make them the champion. Just say like
Dossie agrees with us about the when LA Knight and Bray Wyatt went cosmic bowling.
Yep.
I just remember Uncle Howdy like jumped off on the LA Knight and like completely missed the crash pad entirely.
I don't understand that at all. Like that was
So
weird.
stupid.
See, I liked like those TNA cinematic matches because they were just pure chaos. I wasn't expecting real matches, and it's better than any. Honestly, it's better than WWE and AEW's.
I enjoyed it.
Matches.
I'm not gonna lie.
The original
I enjoyed
TA
the Hardy
TNA
compound
ones.
stuff.
Yeah, the original Hardy ones at the Hardy compound were really good.
This
They
was
did do a really good AEW one.
The only
That
good one they
part.
did was the tag
At the
match
pay-per-view.
between Sting and Darby versus who did they fight? Was that Hobbs and Ricky?
Powerhouse.
Was it that?
They had a compound match on a pay-per-view as well with the Hardys. That wasn't bad. They had like
It was in an
Hurricane
old
show
ring,
up.
wasn't it?
Huh?
Wasn't it in like a warehouse in an old
Yeah.
ring or something like that? Yeah. I remember
They were in the
that.
forest too, and then they wind up in the barn, and
Yeah.
that Hurricane shows up.
I like the House of Horror match with Bray Wyatt and
It
Randy
was
Orton.
Brian Cage and Ricky Starks
Yeah.
and Sting and Darby.
Gotcha.
Well, we're at an hour and a half here. Do you think we should call her?
I think we had a good one. We had a good one.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
So just getting our plugs. We have Dynamite After Dark on Wednesday, and then this next Saturday at 11:30 Pacific. This is at 3:30. No, so like 12:30, 1:30, 2:30 Eastern time. We'll have the Scamanda podcast. That's good. The show that we're doing a couple times a month is called Church Drink, and it has nothing to do with church. It's just what we're calling it because we like to drink the church juice.
Is it about any particular drink?
Well, it's church drinking. You ever had church juice before?
No.
Church grape juice.
It's watered the fuck down.
I can never say I've had anything called church juice. No.
Yeah, it's they have like a maybe a church event afterwards where they're feeding people and they get out the big Gatorade thing, fill it with this juice crystals, I guess.
Holy electrolyte beverage.
See, no, I've always had something different. Like it's like a super like concentrated version of grape juice.
Hmm.
It's like it feels more like thick than anything. It was not watered down at all.
Well, okay, that's not your typical church experience, though. This is some church with some money, obviously.
I
And,
guess.
we're gonna get some good church juice. We're not following the model. But yeah, so we got that next Saturday, and yeah, check out all our links below. Join our Facebook community. Clickety clack, you'll see them all down there. Make sure you like and subscribe and give the show a like here. But on behalf of my friend EVP Joe and on behalf of my friend Mr. Isaacs, I'm just going to get the thing ready so I could be ready right after I say the Just Keep Fighting speech. I think they got it like.
He's going to hit the button accidentally.
Okay, yeah, I remember now. They just once as soon as you end the stream, it automatically goes, so you don't even have to worry about
Yeah.
it. But in case you are like depressed or you're down, sometimes life isn't always fair. It kicks your ass, and it takes a lot to keep going sometimes. And that's where you gotta be like, I gotta reach out to my friends, I gotta reach out to my family, I gotta reach out to my community, I gotta reach out to my church, whatever. Reach out to us, and we will help pick you up. Put one foot in front of the other, put your fist in the air, put the devil in a sharpshooter, and just keep fighting.